Hello. Oh, of course, my son texts me right as we're starting. Hello, everybody. We're back. We are back for the fifth and final Connection Corner. Sorry, I'm like making up names now, everybody. You can tell we're on the last. The Creativity Corner. And we're doing rainbow art. So I'm dressed the part. I wore my rainbow t-shirt. And there's a little bit of a story behind my shirt here. A friend of mine was going through a health challenge, and she actually had these rainbow t-shirts made as a fundraiser. So I thought that was pretty cool. You could buy a rainbow shirt, and part of the proceeds went to help her family. So and it says, find the good. And I think that's such a great message for us right now as we're going into more weeks of being at home. We are looking for the bright spots, is what I call them. We are really looking hard for the bright spots. And some of those things are exactly what we're doing now. Gathering virtually to read books, do some art, some creativity, meeting via Zoom instead of in person. I've had some social distance parties with my neighbor, and I say party, it was just her and I, so we were a party of two, where I'd sit on one side of her patio and she'd sit on the other. We've been playing a lot more games at our house. I don't know about any of you out there if you find yourself playing more games, but that's been a bright spot. That's finding the good. And just yesterday, my family and I volunteered at a local school to put boxes of food together for families that came to get a box of food. And so that was another bright spot during this time together. Well, the book that we are reading today is called I Believe in You. And what this book is about, I wrote this one, it's maybe 5 years ago or so. And my inspiration for this book was actually one of my own children. And he was going through middle school, so kind of the 6th, 7th, 8th grade time. And he was finding it kind of challenging out there and starting to feel a lot of doubt about himself and doubtful that he would be able to accomplish certain things, whether it was making a certain team or doing well in certain subjects. And so he was kind of getting down on himself. And so I would tell him, well, I believe in your capability. I believe you can do that. And so that was the inspiration behind I Believe in You. And this book, when we start reading in a little bit, you're going to hear about the different, what I call like our inner gifts, the inner things that we all have the capability of having inside of us already. We don't even have to do anything. All of them are built into us already. So our characteristics that help us succeed out there. And then a little bit talking about our life team. And what our life team is, are the people out there who believe in us. Who are the people in our life who believe we can succeed and achieve? And of course, our mind immediately goes to our parents and our brothers and sisters, but who are those people in our community who also believe in us? So we are going to start by making rainbow art. And the way we're going to do this today is we're going to start coloring our rainbow, and then while we let that dry a little bit, we'll read the book, similar to how we've done before, and then we're going to get back to our rainbows, and we're going to write a few things in them. So as far as materials, you can use the paper plate if you have one. You can use regular paper, which is always available to us. And then if you did happen to download the activity kit, I actually made a rainbow in the activity kit for you already. So lots of choices. So I think, gosh, what do I want to use this morning? I think I'm going to kind of work, or this morning, it's this afternoon. Hello. I'm going to use both the paper plate and I'm going to use the one in my activity kit. I'm going to work on both. So for the paper plate, the idea is to start with our colors around the exterior of our paper plate in the rainbow colors. Now, can anyone out there tell me what those are? Do we need a refresher on our rainbow colors? I remember this from grade school. I'm going to write it down on my piece of paper. Okay, it was R-O-Y-G, that's a G, B-I-V. R-O-Y-G-B-I-V. And R is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. So if you need to write that down next to you to remind you of rainbow colors, you can. It's R-O-Y-G-B-I-V. So back to using whatever supplies we want. You can use markers and add water to them and almost treat them like watercolors. You can use real watercolors, crayons, colored pencils, whatever you have. So I'm actually going to use markers today on my paper plate. And I'm just going to start by coloring in a semicircle here around. So there's my first color, red. And then I've got orange next that I'm doing. R-O, I got Y next. So Y is for yellow. Oops, my cap came off. So putting your yellow band. So it should start looking something like this as it's coming together. Now green, wait, is that right? Yes. Green comes after yellow. And then blue. Now, when I use the word indigo, that's a fancy name for kind of a blue-purple. So it would be a color in between blue and violet. But I don't really have that color in my markers. So I'm just gonna go right to purple. And because you're the artist, if you don't like these colors, you can make your rainbow any color you want. Because there are no rules around our creativity during this. All right, so now I have my colors all lined up, and I'm going to take my paintbrush and I'm going to add a little water to it. I feel like I need a little bit bigger paintbrush. Oh, you know what I'm going to grab is one of my foam brushes out of my closet here. So sometimes a little bit bigger brush works to help spread those colors, something like this, but I also have this one too. So really anything can work. But then you just want to blend your colors together like water, and then it starts to look a little bit blended, like something we might even see in the sky after it rains. Have you guys ever seen a double rainbow? That's really cool. And it really is pretty if you can blend your colors together like that. All right, so that's kind of what we're working toward right there. Something that looks like that. Now, if you are using the rainbow from the activity kit, same thing here. You can either use your markers, you can use crayons, or you can, use your watercolors right on there, and that'll just give you a whole different look. So I'll just do one of the stripes here with my crayons. My crayons are so broken. I don't know if anyone else has that problem, but mine sure are. So if you're doing crayons, you're going to get a look like that, of course. All right, so I am going to put this aside to dry while I switch over to reading to us this afternoon. And then we're going to come back and we're going to add some special words into our rainbows. So hopefully that dries. All right, so here's the book we're reading today. It's called I Believe in You. And I actually dedicated this one to my kids in the front. It says, it's dedicated to my 4 kids. I will always be on your team. I want them to know I'm always on their side. You came into our family with a big, big job to do. The one of growing up into the one and only you. That is your job, is to grow up into the best possible version of you. Some days, it's super easy. And others, kind of tough. Mondays, bring it on, turns into Friday, I've had enough. I kind of feel that way. Tomorrow's Friday, and I'm really glad it's Friday. Whether it's sunny or stormy, whether you're happy or blue, I'm here to say, without a doubt, I believe in you. When your project feels too hard and you just want to go to bed, I believe in your smart thinking to learn and grow instead. When the team you like says, nah, some other kid'll play, I believe in your awesome skills to shine a different way. When the monsters in your closet seem too big for you to fight, I believe in your true courage to know it'll be all right. When you make a big mistake or you choose a hurtful way, I believe in your stand-up truth to say what you should say. So what happened in this picture here, it looks like she drew all over the couch. And her mom came in the room and saw it and gasped, but she used her stand-up truth to say, I did it. I did it. When the day dips up and down like a roller coaster ride, I believe in your quick laughter to love the lows and highs. When you look into the mirror and question who you see, I believe in your true beauty that shines through from you to me. And that beauty is the beauty inside, the beauty in your heart. When everyone else stands tall, looking so tough and strong, I believe in your brave spirit that's in you all along. When your best friend is unkind or doesn't want to play with you, I believe in your playful heart to find new friends who do. When learning something new makes you want to stop and quit, I believe in your great attitude to go and conquer it. So that little boy's learning how to play hockey and ice skate. Your job of growing up takes hard work I know. But each day is an adventure, and each problem helps you grow. And I want you to remember, I'm here to watch the ride. I believe in one amazing you with all my love and pride. So what I wanted you to hear in this book was all the things that you already have inside that you can use in any situation. So you have things like your smart thinking. You have your skills and your talents for different things. Maybe you're good at piano or soccer or basketball or art. You have built-in skills that let you shine in your own way. And you have courage. We've talked about courage before when we read Be Brave Little One. And courage is like your superpower inside. That when you're scared, courage is what helps you move to brave. And it doesn't mean that you don't feel scared. It just means that you summon that courageous spirit to help you move forward. Honesty, we talked about telling the truth. That's another choice that we can make. And then we all have the choice to have a good attitude or not a good attitude. And I've had to make that choice a lot lately too, during this time when I feel like I'm tired of being at home. Oh, okay, I need to choose a different attitude. And then a lot of times we judge our beauty on our outside, what our hair looks like in our face, but our real beauty is the beauty in our heart. That's our true beauty that shines through. And then a big one, of course, I mentioned is our attitude. And so a lot of times when the outside is giving us a challenge, we need to find our own bright spot from the inside and those different qualities that we already have built in. So that's what I want us to be thinking about as we move back over to finishing our rainbow. So in the top part here, and it can either be in the this one here or on your paper plate, but I want you to think about some of the qualities that you already have inside you. For example, are you kind? Do you have a good attitude? Do you always tell the truth? Are you strong? Are you brave? Are you nice? Are you helpful? All those kinds of things that are already built inside. And I want you to write those things in the colors of the rainbow. So I'm going to get out my black pen. I'm going to get out the Sharpie so that I can see it through the colors. And I'm going to fill my rainbow with things like that about myself. So, of course, one of the things that pops in my mind is I feel like I'm creative. I enjoy art and making things. So I'm going to write in here, creative. And I think I'm pretty nice. And you know, part of this project, boys and girls, is actually owning those things about ourselves. A lot of times we feel, or we can feel like, oh, maybe that's bragging if I say, well, I'm nice, but you are. And I think part of recognizing our one-of-a-kindness is actually to own and be proud of the things that are part of who we are. I'm going to also write helpful in my rainbow. And strong. I try to lift weights a couple times a week. So I'm going to put strong. Oh, and another thing, curious. Oh, right in our chat, Jake from Texas said hello. So I'm saying hello back to Jake. So another thing I'm going to write about myself is curious. I really like to learn about new things, and I like to meet new people, and I like to travel and see new places. So I would say I'm really curious. So if anyone wants to share with me maybe some of the things that they're writing in their rainbow about their inner gifts, I'd love to hear what you're writing. Let's see, what else do I want to say? I can be, let's see, strong, creative, nice, helpful. I'm going to say happy, because I think most of the time I'm pretty happy. So now if you're using this one, you can just do the same in there and write the qualities in your rainbow that make you, oh, kind and silly. Silly is a good one. And don't we enjoy being around people who are silly because they make us laugh? And so if you think about it, all those qualities about yourself are what make you bright, like a rainbow. It's the color in you. It's what makes you colorful. And you brighten up people's lives through those different qualities about yourself. So after you've had a chance to brainstorm that part, next I want you to think about what I call your life team. And when I was traveling and visiting some schools, I could talk to the kids about this in person, and we would brainstorm the different people on our life team. So think for a minute about the people that believe in you and that want to see you succeed and cheer you on. So of course that could be your mom or your dad or your family, but what about maybe a special teacher in your life who you feel like really encourages you? When I was in 5th grade, I had a teacher who would always write very kind things on my writing papers. And she would say, keep going, you're a good writer. And I felt so encouraged by her. I felt like she was a really important person on my life team. So I would write, Mrs. Lenz was her name. So what I want you to do under your rainbow is write some of the names, and if you have trouble spelling any of them, maybe ask your moms or dads to help you write those names. But underneath, I want you to write some names of the people who are on your life team. And so I'm going to write the name Jim, because that's my husband, and he's definitely a big part of my life team. And then I'm going to write my kids' names. So I have Cole and Adam, and my daughter is Julia, and my youngest son is Will. So they're probably at the top of my life team. And then I have a really good friend, and her name is Lisa. And so I'm going to put her on there too, because she's someone that I can call and tell her about something I'm doing, and she's really happy for me. And you know, I'm going to put Claire and Nancy on my life team too, because they helped put together our creative corner. So they are definitely on my life team. So I have Claire and Nancy. So you can see my life team is really filling up. I'm going to put my dog in there too, because he and I spend a lot of time together. We go on walks, and I really think he wants to see me happy too, because he sure tries. He wags his tail when he sees me, and when I give him a treat, he's very happy about that. A couple more people. Let's see. Oh, I know. So the company that publishes my books, there's a woman that I work with there, and she's my editor. And now an editor is someone who reads my words, and if I make mistakes, she tells me how to make my writing better. So she is definitely on my life team, and her name is Shayna. And so I'm putting her on there too. And so pretty soon your rainbow is full of all the things at the top that make you special, and then all the people on your life team underneath. And it's such a great reminder of why we should believe in ourselves, all these things, and then also how many people we have cheering us on right now and right today. And some of those people might not be in our house, and we may not be able to see them right now, as we've been talking about. We may be far away, but grandmas and grandpas and aunts and uncles and cousins. Your life team may need a whole other page. You might not even be able to fit them all on here. And this is also something that you can do. You know, if you don't want to add that to your rainbow, you don't have to if you just want to cut out the rainbow. But it sure is a nice thing to think about. But something else you can do with your art is you can then cut this out like that. And look how pretty that is. You could hang that in your window, and when the sunlight comes through, it brightens it up, just like you. You know, I think you all bring the sunshine to me, because every week when we talk, there is sunshine outside my window. And sometimes the day starts cloudy, but by the time our creative corner comes, the sun is out. So I think you are all bringing the sunshine. Now, for the rainbows that we did on the paper plates, you know, you can cut those out as well, if you want. You know, so you have something that looks like that. And you could, how nice that would look like on the front of your door. You know, you can even make a couple of these. Maybe this one, you write a big welcome. And you hang that on your front door. And you want people to know that they're welcome at your house. Or maybe your rainbow says a big thank you. Like that. And you can hang that in your window. Almost as if I'm saying thank you to the people who are bright spots in my life. So there's so many different ways to just use this simple symbol of the rainbow of finding the good in ourselves, finding the good in the people who believe in us, and seeing even the goodness in our community and saying thank you to the people who we believe in, who are keeping us safe right now, the doctors and the people who are working at all the essential businesses. You know, if you had a chance to download the activity kit, I just want to show you some of the other things that were in here. I actually put a word search in this activity kit, and I've never done that before. But this is something new, and you get to look, all the words that you can find are those inner gifts you have. Oh, I see a rainbow up there. Now, can everyone see that? That is, the art we're sharing, everyone can see that, right?
We'll show it now. Here, Thomas.
Oh, that's
I'll see it now.
beautiful.
So this is
Oh my goodness. Those are so pretty. Oh, you made a couple of them. What are you going to do with yours? Are you going to hang them up?
One of them outside in the front yard and one in my room.
Oh, perfect. She said she's going to hang one outside and one in her room.
Do you want?
And how about you?
Thomas, where do you want to put yours? Should we put it in your room too?
No, put on both of them on my mommy's computer.
On mommy's computer. Okay.
That's to remind you what a bright spot you are.
Mommy on the top of her computer. So
Oh, I love that idea. Well, the word search is probably for a little bit older child because there's a lot of big words to find, like kindness, bravery, honesty. But what a great way to practice your letters and some of your writing. And then this is kind of a special page. This is a girl who looks kind of worried. And I wanted to put that in there too because sometimes we do have worries that stop us from believing in ourselves. And it helps sometimes to write those out. What are some of my worries? You know, maybe right now you're worried you might get sick or you'll never get to go back to school. Now, a lot of times those worries don't happen, but they don't stop our brains from sometimes worrying. And so if you're able to just put them out, then there's certain people who can help you with your worries. And so you can talk about that too. And then lastly, I put this page in there of a big empty tire swing. And it's looking pretty lonely there. So I would invite you to draw yourself swinging on that tire. And then I have the words, I believe in my, and you can fill that in any way you want. I believe in my kindness. I believe in my creativity. I believe in my helpfulness. Whatever you really love about yourself would be the perfect thing to put right there. So there are lots of things to keep you busy around this topic of believing in yourself and knowing that there's other people who believe in you. Because I just don't think we're meant to go through life feeling alone. And we all need a life team, especially right now when things are a little crazy outside. We can rely on our team. We don't have to do this alone. Gosh, is there anything else I wanted to add to that? I don't think so. I think that's all I had for you. So to wrap up, I guess I just wanted to reiterate that this is our last time together. Can't believe it. We've gone through 5 weeks of Creative Corner. And if you're signed up, you know, which you are, if you're here, Claire sends out a link to a recording. And you can, if you have not been able to be with us for previous corners, there are links to all of those. So you can rewatch them and do artwork. If you want to do any of our projects a second time or do them with friends or a family member, all of that is available to you, which is really great. And I'm getting a message in the chat that from Laura Beth, who said that she's going to miss seeing me on Thursday. And I really appreciate that because I've grown to really love gathering with you each week. And I know when next Thursday comes, I'm going to feel a little sad that I can't pop online and make some art with you. So anyone who has been with us, thank you so much. And again, thank you to the University of Denver for making this possible. This was their idea, and so I'm really thankful that they invited me to come along for the ride, that they believed in me. That made me feel really good. So thank you, everybody. Again, thanks for joining us, and give yourself a big hug when we leave, knowing that you are definitely the bright spot in many people's days. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.